materials like glass here and metal. So Tammy also created this really fun game where you can actually just wander around a forest, and if they'll challenge me, take on some of these gnomes. Pew pew pew. Okay, I know this looks simple, but I've actually not won this game a single time. All right, let's look at one more really fun example. Oh my gosh, I'm being attacked. Okay, do things like this. Yeah, very, very cool. And all of these examples are just the tip of the iceberg.
And select a really nice, precise selection of vertices. I'm going to select these instead and change the corner radius, and now this is looking a lot more like a pasta shape.
Goal here that she can type in whatever questions she wants to know, and then pick from a list of popular goals that she can actually choose, and then which actual assets does she want to get feedback on. So she's got all three concepts in there. So she's going to go ahead and click on a few results, and what does she have right here? A finding summary generated with AI that tells her immediately that option C was the most, gave people the most confidence when purchasing due to customer review section, details about the product. However, several participants mentioned they would like to see more information about shipping and returns to make a purchase.
My mistake, I'm going to send it to the plugin directly. I moved into Figma Design. Can launch the HTML2Design plugin. To the extension tab, and here we go. And I'm gonna ask him to paint it into the Figma canvas. There we go. Okay. There we go. And this is our website.
Knows what the name of the variable is. So one of its other outputs is this handy dandy little plugin API, piece of plugin API that we can now copy, and we can come over to Figma and we can open the JavaScript console, which is my favorite Figma feature, and we can run this. And we have just set code syntax programmatically for every single one of these variables. And isn't that nice? Now, when we come over here and we click on this container, thank you for the clap.
In my prompt, I also have the option to choose a different model to run, is this variance toggle, which will basically run our prompt multiple times, in this case 3 times, and give us 3 different apps with slightly different design directions. And then we can compare the results and figure out which direction we like the best. As you see, it's loading up 3 different apps for us and streaming the results in. The same generation I did a little bit earlier. And you can see that Spark has given us 3 different options for our to-do list feature. Send the same prompt to the different models and compare the results side by side. There's even this button right here that allows you to improve your prompt. If you click this, you can provide feedback of what you think might be better and have Copilot improve your prompt for you.
yeah, with it you can kind of navigate your screen, swipe pages. He's going to click on an app and go so far as to type out a word, letter by letter. He can still speak to Siri with his device in, but this is to show you the accuracy that you can already get at the time. And we also support another input for cursor control, which is head tracking. So when you put the device in and you move your head sort of side to side, so too will the cursor on the screen, as you see here. It's not all about work, it's about fun too.
Actually, the most interesting thing, what kind of captivated the internet's imagination was what they saw with my connection with this machine. She had a little bit of companionship, a little bit of normalcy.
Identity with my own. It was challenging to make sure that they were represented, but also let my personal style come through. I found things that I was good at, like branding, going back to that IKEA shoe, like making sure that's coming through at the forefront, but in a way that hasn't been really done before.
What I can do as a designer from Figma with volume frame code from GJS. So with a cube, you can use it to make color stuff. Once I have this environmental light affecting the scene, I can change the material parameters, and I will have crazy. I started to thinking about Figma as my personal CDN. I started to think about it as my visual kernel on the cloud.
Effects on hover. Those beautiful transition when you jump from one section to the other on the website. Or codeclubs.com here, which lets you navigate a 3D representation of an actual real-life sports complex, like a video game, directly on the browser. Of a scene that I made last year where I attempted to reproduce the style of French comic book artist Jean Giraud, aka Mobius. And it is composed of crosshatch patterns for the shadows, which luckily that was solved with the pattern work that I just showcased to you.
Hit export to Lottie, and that's it. You've got a .Lottie file ready to go anywhere. Same thing with the Dino loader, schedule frame, smart animate, the transitions, export as a .Lottie file, and here's the twist. Now you are the pipeline. I mean, from prototype to production in just one click. And honestly, feels kinda chill. You just need to copy this link or the code.
I'll show you that in a second. In fact, why don't we do that now? Let's do something else cool here. Well, let's see the results. Ta-da! Here's our design change. And again, here I'm just going to hit the update PR button, and it's going to send the update. In fact, when we look at that update, we are going to have a new commit in the line of commits. You'll also see we now have a nice, beautiful PR description and title.
But we also made sure